Let's fight. Welcome in the ring, folks. Whether you're joining us on YouTube, you're joining us on Facebook, you're joining us on Twitter, let's fight. Let's get to work, folks. I've showed up for work, prepared to work, and I'm happy that you're here with me, wherever you're picking us up from, whichever social media platform, whether you're at home here in Guyana or you're in the diaspora, internationally, welcome in the ring. Let's fight. Lots of information to share with you guys this evening, so I am ready to go. You know what you got to do. Share the live stream. Tonight is about you, folks. It is Talk Back Thursday. Believe it or not, we are at Thursday already. It is Talk Back Thursday, and I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear from you guys. Again, all you got to do is WhatsApp yes to 627-6963, and you guys are allowed to interrupt me tonight. Any point in the program, come through. I want to hear your thoughts on matters that are of concern to you. This night is about you. Interrupt me anytime during the program, folks. It is Talk Back Thursday. Welcome in the ring. And let's start by paying the price of admission, which you know by now. You got to share the live stream. So I'm going to do that while I invite you guys to do the same. Retweet if you're on Twitter. Share if you're on Facebook. I want to see those emojis. And subscribe if you're on YouTube. Good to have all of you in the ring with us this evening. Hope you're reading us loud and clear. I'm going to give some of you a shout out in a moment, but I really want to see those live stream, those retweets, those shares, etc., folks. And I'm going to do the same. Paying the price of admissions, folks. Paying the price of admission. Let me do that and then get to our hot topics this evening. I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you guys. All right, we're looking good thus far. We're looking good thus far. Folks, I really hope you had a good day. Really hope you had a good day. I hope that you didn't let anything bother you too much. You didn't let anybody steal your joy, because you know there are a lot of joy stealers out there, folks. A lot of joy stealers out there. Okay, so again, thanks for sharing the live stream. Thanks for your retweet. Thanks for your comments. This evening is about you, and I am sharing as well to a couple places, and then we're going to be back with you guys. Let me ensure that I am good to go on all channels. I don't want anything to come between us this evening, guys. I want to hear from you. Text WhatsApp yes to 627-6963. We're going to send you the link, and you guys can come on and share your grievances, anything that has bothered you during the course of the week thus far, or even today. We want to hear from you guys. All right? I'm just making sure that we're ready to go on all channels at my end. And as long as that is done, I am all yours. So again, good to see so many of you. All right, let me come out from there. I'm not where I need to be. Good. We're looking good, folks. We're looking real good. Share the live stream. Share the live stream, folks. Share the live stream, and let's get the show on the road. Let's get the show on the airwaves. Good to have so many of you already with us tonight, and I am ready to go. I am ready to go with information we have curated for you. Lots happening home here in Guyana, lots happening in the diaspora as well, and I really want to hear from you guys. So let me know what's happening where you are. It's good to see all of you, including Karen Clark, Cliff Anderson, Andrea Boston, Patricia Ann George Jilts, Auntie Sandra. Good to see Auntie Sandra there. Sandra Hanover, George Kirk or N. Kirk, Lenny McLennan. Good to see you there, Lenny. Shelley Lewis and Maud Oliver, Lizzie Simon, Ian Harry, Brian Small, Don Morgan. Good to see all of you guys. Give us a share this evening as we come on, guys. Give us a share. Give us a share. We want to feel the love where you are. We want to feel the love, folks. Don't take all the love for yourselves. Don't be stingy, guys. Don't be stingy. Guys, we get some good times with you. We get some good times with you. And, you know, we don't care what you say about us, right? No big thing, no hard feelings. It all comes with it. It all comes with the territory. It all comes with the territory. So don't think, you know, we feel any way when you guys say what you need to say. You got to say what you need to say and get it out of your system, right? We want none of y'all got things backing up on the inside. Next thing, your pressure high, right? You're getting Bigfoot or Goldie or something like that. So, guys, get it out of your system. Get it out of your system, and let's get going. Good to see so many of you already up, already out there. All right, are you guys ready? I am ready to go. I am ready to go, and I hope you guys are also. I see Donna Fresco is joining us on YouTube. John is picking us up on YouTube. Good to see you, Donna, there. I want to see some of our folks on Twitter. I want to see some of those comments on Twitter. Those folks who are joining us on Twitter. And Shiraz, Ibrahim, all of you guys, good night to all of you. You might disagree with us. And folks, I say this, and I say this again. You do not need to agree with us to come into the ring, right? I saw a stupid post on the PPP Facebook page. Somebody shared it to me. A stupid post, right? Because they wanted to say that we were called out. We were called out on our own program. We had a guest on the other evening, and the PPP said we were called out on our own program because they don't understand the nature of this program. You see, you could only get on the PPP program if you agree with them. If you agree with them, you can get on their boards, but we don't want to go on the boards where all the corruption happening like at Guy Oil and at GPL. You can only get to work with them if you agree with them and their corruption. But you don't have to agree with us. And that is why we say whether you are PPP, you're invited in the ring. Call us. We want to hear your views. You are TUF. Well, TUF doesn't exist the same way TCI and all of these other guys come up one day and then they disappear. But whichever religion you are or no religion, you're welcome in the ring. Whichever political party you ascribe to or no political party, you are welcome in the ring. I want to hear from you. We're not afraid of y'all. I won't fight some of y'all, as a matter of fact. I want to fight some of you. So I welcome you guys in the ring. Let's get the show on the road tonight. Guys, by the way of topics, by now you should know there was a protest today by the Square of the Revolution. And what better place to have a protest than by the Square of the Revolution? There at the top of Brick Dam and Pleasanton Road that passes along there. And host of the Gavin Matthews show and activist Gavin Matthews was arrested by the police. And if it's one thing we understand about this administration is that if they want you, they're coming for you. And they're going to find some obnoxious reason to arrest you. Right? They're going to go back 10 years. They're going to go back 10 years when you had said something to your kindergarten teacher that they didn't like or was just brought to their attention. Right? Because that is how they are. That is the nature of the beast. And so Gavin Matthews was arrested today. And he is still on the arrest because I spoke with his attorney, Mr. Darren Wade, attorney at law, Darren Wade, who has advised and informed me that Mr. Matthews is still locked up. But the reason that Mr. Matthews was locked up is incredible because according to news source, Mr. Matthews is alleged to have committed a cybercrime. Who knew? A cybercrime, using his talk show to cause emotional distress and humiliation to Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture. To cause emotional distress and humiliation. Now, I'm a parliamentarian, and every now and again, I have to listen to Charles in the National Assembly. And folks, that to me is emotional distress and humiliation as a young person. So I don't know whether I should get Charles locked up or if the police would take a complaint from me. Because I don't know how many of you heard Charles' budget presentation a few short months ago. It was painful. And if we're talking about emotional distress, it was very emotionally distressing for me and humiliating, not only as a parliamentarian, but as a Guyanese and as a young Guyanese, to hear Charles struggle for coherency and logic, right? And you guys already know Charles as the Banty Lion, the man who wanted to quote Shakespeare in the National Assembly, but it didn't end well. It didn't end well at all. So Charles, using his political connection, the installed Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, using his political connection, had Mr. Matthews arrested because, according to news source, Matthews caused him emotional distress and humiliation. Emotional distress and humiliation. It is nothing short of incredible. Folks, I want to hear from you. WhatsApp, that's all you got to do. WhatsApp, yes, to 627-6963. I want to hear from you. You don't have to wait on any particular point in the program. You are allowed to interrupt me this evening. The only evening while I'm on, you guys are allowed to interrupt me. Because some of y'all got time and place. Some of y'all see me on other nights and y'all still will be calling. Right? So WhatsApp. Good. WhatsApp. Yes, to 627-6963. And I'm going to send you guys the link to come on. So we're following what has happened here with our brother Gavin Matthews. Right? I was down there this afternoon at Ivlery. Couldn't get to see him. His lawyer was busy, making a case for him there at the Criminal Investigation Department. And the lawyer did advise me afterwards, Attorney at Law Darren Wade, that Mr. Matthews has caused Charles emotional distress and humiliation. Who knew, folks? Who knew? Right? So we're gonna stay on top of this, and we're gonna have that information for you as soon as additional information, as soon as it is available. And we're still following that fire last evening at Sharon's Mall building that has destroyed the entire building. Folks, you all know Georgetown, you all know Guyana is rumor central. So I have heard several theories, of which I cannot verify the veracity. And so I'm not going to repeat some of them here because I want you to have information that you can depend on when you come in the ring. And so I'm not going to repeat all of them, but Newsroom reported that the fire chief fainted at the scene because there was so much smoke. Calamidine Edo is the name of the fire chief. Calamity Edo. There I go again. Calamidine Edo is the name of the fire chief who fainted at the scene. Of course, on this show as well as other shows, the fire service came in for sharp criticism because lots of persons said they saw the fire service trucks parked early in the afternoon outside of Sharon's Mall, and there was just a little smoke emanating. As a matter of fact, Newsroom reporting said the very same thing. So any right-thinking Guyanese was a little setback to see that building go up in flames in the manner in which it did. Well, the fire chief said it was too much fire. As a matter of fact, let me quote one of the paragraphs out of Newsroom's reporting. It says, explaining the train of events, the fire chief relayed that the report was received around 17:05 and the fire tenders immediately responded with 2 fire tenders. Upon arrival at the building, firefighters observed light smoke emanating from the mall and entered to locate the source. But he said this posed a tremendous challenge. The building was in the process of closing off and the smoke was not getting to escape. So we tried to ventilate and evacuate the building. Firefighters were presented with a situation where they could not properly search the building. Most of the businesses were grilled. And so I guess this is his justification why Sharon's mall building was totally destroyed by fire. I am joined this evening by Nadia Seafort, and I want to bring her on right away. Nadia, welcome to you. How are you doing?
Good evening. Welcome. I'm fine. Thank you.
Welcome in the ring, Nadia. Great to have you. What's on your mind this evening?
What's on my mind is the arrest of Mr. Matthew.
Mm-hmm. Talk to us.
What you say, pardon me?
Talk to us. Talk to us.
Yes, what's on my mind is the arrest of Mr. Matthew, because for the longest while, a lot of injustice going on against blacks in Guyana. And if you want change, sometimes in life, you have to sacrifice things to get change. And I can understand people go out one day with a placard in the street, say they're picketing. Next day, they forget about it. People should have been picketing all over Guyana, east, west, north, and south. Because that's the only time when these people see you mean business, you're going to get change. That's how you get change. You don't just go out today and then tomorrow, oh, I can't go because I have my business. I think people in Guyana are spineless. They are spineless, and the police force, they're just there like, okay. I was in America and a Trinidadian man locked down the whole of the MTA. Nobody's saying you got to go out there and brutalize people. But when injustice going on and these black police running around and arresting people, come on, down arms. Strike is injustice. You take an oath to uphold the law of the Constitution. You're not working for no individual. So I am disgusted and tired with Guyanese just sit down and talking. We need action.
Nadia, I agree and endorse what you say. Save and accept, I do not believe, because of the information that I get on a daily basis, that the injustice is only limited to black people. A lot of Indian people suffering. As a matter of fact, I was just talking just before the show on with an Indian woman who is going through hell because of people this government is protecting, that is causing her a lot of heartache and pains and financial setbacks. So I wouldn't say it's only black people. Perhaps Indian people are not as vocal because they fear a lot the retribution.
Well, maybe that's what it is. But we need picketing. We need picketing in Barbies. We need Essequibo. We need Linden. We need Georgetown. We need East Coast. We don't just need a few people come out in town one day and next day they sit down. Because when you don't fight back, people feel that they can continue trample on your democratic rights. And Guyanese people is too laid back. I'm just tired of it. They're too laid back.
I agree with you, Nadia. And they just want the remittances from overseas.
Yes. We out there fighting and they just sit down, lay back like it's okay. So then we look foolish.
I hear you, Nadia. Thanks very much for coming through this evening.
Thank you for taking my call tonight. And you enjoy the rest of the night and I'll continue watching.
Thanks very much, Nadia.
Okay, bye-bye.
There we have it. And, you know, this is what we want, folks. This is what we want. You come on, you shoot your shots, and we keep things moving. Right? Be as succinct as possible, and we are gonna just keep moving, right? You know, some of y'all won't come on and take over the show like it's y'all. It's not y'all show. So come on, make your point as succinctly as possible. I want to hear from as many of you as I can, and that's why I said interrupt me at any point of the program, but let's keep things moving. Good. So, guys, we are following what has been happening out of Sharon's Mall. As I said to you, it was totally destroyed by fire. Even when I passed there this afternoon, I saw quite a few people like they're just waiting for the police to say, "Go ahead." A lot of people still out there just watching because people don't concern. Things are bad in this country. People go and dust off some of them burn things. You understand me? That's how people got this country. Things are so bad. I see people like they're on the mark just waiting for the go ahead from the police. But the building was completely gutted. Our thoughts and prayers are with those persons who would have lost their jobs as a result of this fire. We still want to see what the source was. I'm eager to hear that. Again, lots of conspiracy theories out there. This country rife with theories. All right. And this is the new fire chief. Calamity Edo, sorry, Calamidine Edo, Calamidine, my enunciation, Calamidine Edo. Folks, and with that, we are still tracking this corrupt administration and their practices. Folks, the PPP come back. They come back. And so we are reporting this evening that Jason Aaron, who is the president or the principal of Aaron's Royalty Inc., which was that company that skin up Guy Oil, the company and the man that skin up Guy Oil, he has been rearrested by police. He has been rearrested by police. And folks, you remember I told you Gavin Matthews would have reported or allegedly caused this emotional distress and humiliation to Charles Ramson since March, but like Ramson just wake up and realize that. The police has held Mr. Aarons because of something that he would have alleged to have done some time ago. Some time ago, he was part of something. I was made to understand it is his rearrest is not centered around the Guy Oil story, but the police just realized that they wanted to talk to him about another issue. Just like Mr. Matthews, they just realized since he raised his voice about PP corruption, they just realized, oh, they want to talk to you about sometime you went with some boys someplace and some man they get knocked and we didn't get a chance to talk to them. But as we see you now. So we're following that, folks. We are following the rearrest of Mr. Jason Aarons, again, the principal of Aaron's Royalty Inc., which is the company and man who's at the center of the ongoing Guy Oil saga. I'm quite surprised that the chairman of Guy Oil hasn't been pulling for fitness. I'm quite surprised by that because he seemed to be the chief cook and bottle washer. Chief cook and bottle washer, as we say it here, colloquially. Bottle washer, it's the British folks. Chief cook and bottle wash. The chairman of Guy Oil. So I am quite surprised that he ain't get pulling for fitness yet. Which means that he probably know where some of the political dead bodies are buried. Perhaps he buried some of them himself. Because he seemed to be protected by the administration. But again, we're going to keep you updated as to what is happening here with Mr. Aarons. Guys, I want to hear from you. You wanna come on be part of the discussion, just text yes to 627-6963 and we're going to send you the stream. Guys, I want you to be brief. It is not your show. You hear me? Be brief. Good. Shoot your shots and let's keep going. And as another example that the PPP come back, folks, if you needed another example outside of Mr. Aaron and the Guy Oil saga, just look to GPL. The PPP come back in their full strength and full color. Because we are reporting this evening, we're picking up on the report out of the Big Smith News. Big Smith News, right? That Morris Gajadar, the chairman of GPL board, he approved the purchase of vehicles for GPL from a company that he is the head of. Yep. So we're following that. The article says, according to Big Smith News, in January, Power Company invited bids. GPL invited bids for 2 SUVs. For 2 SUVs. The vehicles were purchased from Rhodesia Motor Company Guyana Inc. The chairman of that company is Maurice Gajadar. He's also the current chairman of the GPL board. One employee familiar with the issue described this facilitation of the transaction as a conflict of interest. Clearly, you would have the upper hand in winning the bid if you are sitting as the chairman and have access to the rules and regulations in respect of the purchase manual and other details. So they're saying that Maurice Gajadar of Rhodesia Motor Company had an unfair advantage over other bidders for these vehicles. Maurice just resigned. Just resigned, Maurice. I'm privileged this evening to be joined by James Bunbury. James, a very good evening, sir. Welcome in the ring.
Hi, good evening to you, Sherrod. I trust that
Talk
in the
to us,
midst of
James.
all these things, I trust that in the midst of all what is happening, you're doing a good job. And thanks for the invite. My basic contribution tonight is a follow-up of the previous
Shoot your
caller
shot.
that you had. Yeah, the previous caller was speaking, making reference to her disgust and dismay at the nonchalant behavior of Guyanese as it relates to their cheering and self-interest as against of the collective interests of the country. Um, my 2 pence that I want to add to it is more concerned on the fact that we need to do some contextual criticizing. And in doing so, one would recognize that in as much as they are inclined to be sheer quarterbacking and just looking after their own interests, I think there's a feeling that they're not getting the kind of leadership that they should get in terms of being able to rally, mobilize, organize, strategize, and all of these necessary things that are important. These are essential ingredients. And if you're not getting that coming from a central place, you're going to see the lack of um, ingenuity on the part of the working class people, because they're basically they're seeking to identify with a leader, and I'm not too sure that is that evident as yet. So, in as much as they deserve some blame, because quite a few of them probably would have done the stupidity at the last election. Um, One has to understand there is enough blame to go around, and from that standpoint, everybody take responsibility and move on from there.
Mhm. Interesting, interesting. All right, James. Thank you very much for that intervention.
You're welcome.
All right, my brother. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Folks, again, the number is 627-6963. Just text yes. WhatsApp yes. WhatsApp yes to that number. And I want to hear from as many of you as possible. And I really want to thank James there as we continue to follow what's been happening at Guyana Power and Light, where the purchase of these vehicles by the board, led by the chairman who approved these purchases from his own company. And again, the very staff at GCOM, the very staff at GPL rather, are saying that this is a conflict of interest. They're saying it's a conflict of interest. Moving on to the education sector, where she is a preposition. Moving on to the education sector, where she's a preposition. Folks, I want to report this evening that we were made to understand from reliable sources that this young lady would have topped Cape, right? I want to give you her name. Let me just find that in my notes. She would have topped CAPE and is being denied that position because, again, of some CXC mix-up. Some mix-up at CXC. Her name is Naomi Cambridge. Right? She topped CAPE and she is in second place currently, but she is a Queen's College and she's a Queen's College student. She topped CAPE. She is a Queen's College student. And we are asking the Ministry of Education to get this right. Let's get this right. Let's get this right, folks. Agri Marsh, welcome in the ring, sir.
Good night, sir. Good night. Good night. Sure. I think sometimes we lock ourselves into looking at things just from a political view. So I would like to throw this Guile thing as a national issue. If you're into mining, if you into selling hot dogs on the corner where the Guyanese or Venezuelan, if you do stuff on the seawall, if you use electricity and use fuel across the board in Guyana, this is a national issue because countries across the world are dealing with fuel shortages, not getting the right fuel, dirty fuel. And we need to look at this, that if persons can't get fuel at the right price, if the government says, and which sounds something I don't mind applauding them for, removing VAT from fuel, then the common man in whom that reduction should come down to should get it. But when you think that is happening, somebody inserts themselves in the process, which is very good. I'm sure the finance minister, when he's doing his budget, saying, you know what, President Ali, we are going to remove VAT. It's a good thing. It's going to be broad-based. All people, all from 1 to 10, regions 1 to 10 will experience this piece of blessing, right? Good. But now you see corruption creeping into something that started as a very good intention at the higher levels of the government. And why is that so? It is so because we refuse to call a spade a spade. You understand? We refuse to say to people, we refuse to say to people, if this is the lowest bid, give the contract to them and say what you want about the APNU. Regardless of race, creed, or class, they gave contracts across the board. Those who supported them.
But some people not going to want to hear that. You just vex some people there. You just vex some people.
Well, that is not a problem that is new to me. But if we're going to be honest, if you're talking about one guy, and if you're talking about one people, one nation, one destiny, these are the fundamental things that we don't even need to be political about. Because when gas is expensive, I pay more, Sherrod, you pay more, Ali pay more, the country pay more. The taxis, drivers in Berbice, I realize you don't throw that up yet. The taxi drivers in Berbice are protesting. They're going to raise their fare because of the cost of fuel. And they have every right to do so regardless of their race. Because it is a national issue and it should be couched in a way
and also regardless of the party that they support, because I saw they didn't vote for that.
Well, good, right? So I am saying these issues are national issues and should be addressed as such. But people throw the political spin to appeal to one person or the other. And you realize the moment people start to address things as national, broad-based, without being partisan, some people get worried because you can't say is one race A or race B or party A or party B.
Agree. All right. Thanks very much for your intervention there, Agree. Thank you for pelting those punches. All right, folks, there you have it. Agri-Marsh coming through for us there. And again, we are going to monitor this issue here concerning Naomi Cambridge, who, for the information that we have, is a person who would have topped CAPE, But there's a mix-up there at CXC and the Ministry of Education, and we hope that they sort it out very soon so the young woman can get the accolade she deserves based on the studies and the hard work she would have put in to gain that top spot as a student who would have topped CAPE in Guyana. Good. In addition to that, we're following what is transpiring at Linden. We come back to Linden. Guys, we come back to Linden again. Linden. And I want to bring up this graphic a little bigger for you because, you know, since, again, the PPP had an outreach to Linden, the first outreach to Linden was January 26th. Since then to now, we saw the St. John's Ambulance Brigade employees fired, data entry clerks fired, Linden Board of Guardians fired, Linden Enterprise Network directors fired. Today, some trainee nurses were sent home indefinitely from the Charles Rose School of Nursing. Batch 66, I'm advised. They were sent home indefinitely. We ain't got no more uses for y'all. One person even said that they learned that it was said that we got too much nurses already in the country. So we don't need y'all. Belinda, welcome in the ring.
Hi, Sharon. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. I want to piggyback on the last caller. You know, he's right. Yes. The Guyana issue should be a national issue that is understood in a society where the level of education is there. The level of education is there. There will be no patriotism, none whatsoever. It's all about me. Me. Greed, me, greed. It wouldn't change. And these things will happen because we allow it to happen. Guyanese sit down and allow the corruption. They enjoy it. Some people benefit greatly from it and they don't want to change it.
Oh, yes.
For instance, about the March 2nd elections, we allow a group of people, judges, or I guess people that are the head of our elections commission commit treason. And what will we do about it? Nothing. But yet we can arrest people for talking, exercising the freedom of speech. If this is not remedied, if it's not corrected, we're going to go through this cycle again. I am honestly telling you, I'm telling Guyanese who want better, and my advice is not to stay there because it's not going to change. We don't want it to change. We always want this back and forth business. Every 4 years, we have an exchange. We have discrimination. We have corruption. Oh, yes. And then, oh, yes, it's okay. Next 4 years, we do it again. We have a do-over.
Yeah.
So, you know, it won't change. It would never change unless we have major change of mind.
Yeah.
Change of your level of understanding. And that comes from the government. And they wouldn't do it. Not this one. Thank you,
Thanks
Sharon.
very much,
Have
Belinda.
a good night.
You too. Thanks for coming through, Belinda. Means a lot to us.
Yes, thank you.
All right. And we have Shadaz Shamad. I was expecting you. Hit me with your best shot.
Good night to you, brother.
Good night to you too, sir.
Hello?
What's on your mind today?
Yes. You know, in life, right, honesty is the best policy. There's been taught all over.
Mhm.
And I only want to submit that the coalition, especially coalition parliamentarians, and I
Mhm.
know you're one of them, coalition leadership, maybe for a week or two, or even a whole month, should stop looking at the PPP for a moment and just look at
Uh-huh.
themselves. The
Mhm.
PPP is the war in the
You're breaking up, my brother. I really want to hear you with clarity, but you're breaking up. I don't know what's happening at your end. Shadaz,
hello,
I'm here, sir. Go right ahead.
hello.
I'm here. We're here. Right ahead.
Sorry, I thought I thought I was being cut there for a while.
No,
But
no,
I'm
no, no. I
saying,
want to
right,
hear you.
the people is not going to change. Right, the people is not going to change. They, no matter what you say, no matter what you talk, no matter what you do, you see, they just come back for a couple of months, and they're going and they're into the same wolf that happens 23 when they was in power for 23 years. They're gonna be the same people. You're gonna see the same corruption. You're gonna see Gaia. You're gonna see GPL. You're gonna see all these deals. Just to show all them admire things, and so all the things gonna come back. All these big corrupt deals. That is what these people is all about. All the discrimination is gonna be there. The firing of people who are not aligned to them. All this gonna come. This issue is need a political action. It need a political response. And I'm extremely disappointed that a coalition has been so soft with all
What
this
should be the
vengeance that
political
the people.
response? What should be the political response in
So,
your mind?
for example, if I was in your shoe, if I was Mr. Armon and the leadership of the coalition, I would have been launching a nationwide non-cooperation with the installed government. For example, I could there's so many things to do. You could tell all your supporters, all right, we don't wear black. No, everybody wear black. You put a black feather in your flag. You have to do something to let the people. I'm going to tell the president that is not your country. This is not your place. This is not your country. That you're not going to talk to me. And I'm saying this, that the coalition, they're too soft, they're too weak. The response is not strong enough. And if the coalition is not honest with themselves, they're losing
Well,
supporters day by day by day.
Shadaz, I don't think a strong response is wearing black, you know. let me hit you a punch
I
now.
didn't say that, you know.
I
I'm
don't
saying,
think a strong
I'm saying
response is if that's the best
no,
thing in your arsenal, wearing black, I don't know where we're
sir. You see, that is the problem with the coalition. I'm not
No,
saying you should do that.
no.
I'm saying you have to do something.
You have made a broad
There's so
statement.
many
We're not. You said a political response is needed, and I've asked you. That's a very broad statement. Now let's narrow
Correct.
down. What in your mind is a political response?
Yes.
You said we're black.
The strongest political response, and it worked many parts of the world, is something called civil disobedience. Martin Luther King was able to prove that civil disobedience, peaceful. You see, Mahatma Gandhi proved peacefully that you alone can't come here and believe that this is you. People need something called leadership. The coalition, despite what people say, and you could do a survey across this country, people are of the view that the coalition is not providing leadership. What we just had a terrible decision in the court. First of all, 99 was stronger than 88. When the woman threw away 99, what did the coalition do? Everybody just sit back, a few comments, a few Facebook this and a few Facebook talk, and a few speech, a few statements, and there is it. And the coalition finished. When the coalition was in power, and Mr. Granger went to give a speech at His Excellency Granger went to give a speech at the Pegasus. What did the PP do? Look at what the PP did when they were forcing His Excellency to call a date for the election. Right? You need, you see, this is, you need, for example, let me say this to you. Let me say this positively to you and your fellow colleagues. Y'all should not have been in parliament. Y'all should not have been in there participating in parliament. Let the world see that it's a one-side parliament. But I believe that some of the parliamentarians, and when I'm saying all, do not have the guts to say, all right, take the parliament salary for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, or 2 months or 3 months. You don't want to make sacrifice. You see, when you're a political leader, you have to be concerned about the people on the ground. But too many leaders we have now, both political leaders and union leaders, they're concerned about themselves. Look at the public servants. Look how land the budget finished. Look at everything, and not a response yet from the leadership of the public union. Guys, to strike 1 or 2 days, and Jack, you run and rescue them, and with Carl Garwan the management and give them increase. Oh, this public servants will never see an increase unless there is mass strike. It's that the people not don't know what the public servants and give them no increase. Unless, and I don't know, it seems to me that some people are in a comfort zone, and at some stage the coalition may become a dead organization if they don't rise up and show leadership. What did they arrest Gavin Matthews? A lot more is gonna come. Plenty more is gonna come. Plenty arrests, plenty prosecution, plenty that type of thing. Unless the coalition gets serious. Good night to you, sir.
Thanks, my brother. All right, and you know, I like what he said. I respect the way he put his point over. I can give you that, but I disagree. I disagree on many levels. Right? I disagree on many levels, guys. I wanna leave some room for you guys to call. Right? 627-6963. Number one, we don't have to not go to parliament for them to be one-sided. They're already one-sided, and we have to go to make our voices heard at the highest forum, right? How should us know that those parliamentary salary is not, doesn't go to the struggle, right? I want people to stop talking and say, we are going to send you X amount of money, because we know that it takes money to move the struggle forward. I don't know if Shadaz is in Guyana, but how come he wasn't there with Mr. Matthews or his family? But Mr. Matthews in the struggle. You see, it is one thing to talk what somebody else should be doing. What are you doing? Are you saying, okay, every month I can send 100 US or 10 Canadian dollars or 5 EC for the struggle? Right? When you call a mass protest, people are out of money, they're out of work. Who's feeding them in a pandemic? So it's one thing to talk about poor leadership. When you are Moses and you got to bring those people out of Egypt into the wilderness, it's another story. And so while I embrace the criticism, I'm saying that following and leading is two different things. Following and leading is two different things. And I agree, we always have, we can never take strike and protest out of the arsenal of civil disobedience and this struggle, right? But I want people to move off of social media, as we do, as Gavin does, right? And come in the struggle. And that is what I was telling a gentleman quite recently. What are you willing to contribute to the struggle? I might say part of my contribution is amplifying other voices. Like Gavin, like Mark, like Burke. We're going to amplify the voices through social media. We're going to protest, right? Some of you, I can't even get you to share the live stream. And you talking about struggle? We can't even get you to share the live stream so that others can hear what we're discussing. Right? That is the nature of it. We will never get everybody on, because not only a lot of people are concerned about how the family going to eat when the month comes. And I don't despise them. Some people got to anchor down because they got responsibilities. They're going to give us information, what is happening on the inside. They're going to tell us what is happening, for instance, at forestry, what is happening at Guy Oil, what is happening at GPL. but they would never come in the street because they understand victimization. Right? No, I cannot tell you what your sacrifice is or should be. Everybody's sacrifice is personal to them. And so my sacrifice is that I will pursue a certain course of action and I don't care. But I can't tell my wife, this got to be you sacrifice and your children sacrifice. And I can't tell Shabazz that your son and your wife must meet on Coffee Square. You have to see what is happening. Something connects that this is wrong, what these Jagabats CPP are doing, and we move things forward. So it is the easy thing to say it's the coalition leadership. That is the easy thing to say. But to come and to lock arms with us in the struggle, region by region, tongue by tongue, that is another story. It is easy to be suspended miles away and to say, this is what you all should be doing, lockdown, breakdown, and all of that. People got kids to feed, they got mouths to feed, and all of that. And it's a multiplicity, a multifaceted approach that has to be engaged to move us forward. I will concede that to you. I will concede that to you. I will concede that to you. And so while I wait on some other responses, guys, I want to hear from you. 627, just text yes to that number, and I'm going to send you guys the live stream, and you move from there, folks. Again, we're looking at some credible information that we have received, and I got a little bit more information to share with you. We got a couple of minutes left, folks, and again, we're following this information concerning Naomi Cambridge, who should have been the top students for K, but some mix up there at CXC and Ministry of Education locally. That is not being done, or that was not the position that she gained. We're asking them to look into that, and let's try to correct that. We also have credible information out of Guyana Forestry Commission, and we have focused on this gentleman before, this Mr. Tasrif Khan, right? These are the sacred cows that are being protected by the PPP, causing a lot of hardship to employees, right? Promoting unqualified people and all of that, because it is alleged he and some people are in bed. And so if you pay your dues in this manner, you get ahead of people who are academically qualified and experienced on the job, right? And so we are advised that Mr. Khan is not being very serious about COVID at the Guyana Forestry Commission, and especially the Forest Monitoring Division, which he heads. Lots of people are coming down with COVID-19 at some of these forest stations, for instance, at Kokwani, at Supanam, and Letem. But it's like business as usual. Business as usual. Business as usual. Folks, I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you. So again, I'm sending it to one person. Yes to 627-6963. I don't intend to do a lot of talking on these evenings, but I want to hear from you guys, and I hope you guys are resharing the live stream, whether on Twitter, Facebook, on YouTube. And you have to ask yourself, what can you contribute to this struggle? It is not always money. It is not always money. Some people do things quietly. A woman sent us some face masks all the way from Canada. Somebody sent some tin soup, some cup soup, and some other food stuff. It is not always about money. And sometimes it is about money. It takes money to keep the lights on. It takes money to do a program like this. So what can you contribute to the struggle? It is easy to look at somebody else and say, you are not doing enough. But what are you sacrificing for this political struggle? It's a good question to ask ourselves this evening. I got a couple minutes left. I really hoping that we get at least one or two other persons. Folks, retweet, share on the Facebook, subscribe on YouTube. And that's a good question to ask yourself as we wrap up the program. a good question to ask ourselves, what are we doing to contribute to the struggle? What are we doing to contribute to the struggle? What are we contributing to the struggle? What are we doing? Folks, we turn our attention now to COVID-19. And it isn't getting any better. It isn't getting any better. By now, you understand the PPP's lackluster and poor leadership on COVID governance. 2 persons died today. And the day isn't finished as yet. 2 persons died out of Region 3. Sorry, yes. 2 women from Region 3 died today from COVID-19, folks. And so, of course, our admonition is always wash your hands, sanitize, social distance, wear your mask, the basic. And because this pandemic is of international proportions, this applies across the board, wherever you are tonight, wherever you are this evening, it applies to you. Good, and I'm really heartened to see so many comments. I'm seeing some comments from Cicely Wills and Laura Williams and Winslow Joseph on YouTube, Dan Henry, and some other folks. Right? I really want to hear some more comments. I really want to hear some more comments. At least one other person I'm gonna give a chance to get through. We're right up on program time here, folks. Right up on program time. And of course, I want to ask you guys to continue to social distance, wear your mask, sanitize. Look what's happening in India, in Brazil. Serious, folks, serious. And we are heading there if we don't do something radical to stem this COVID surge and tide locally. We are heading right there. Right there. So I hope you guys took the opportunity to share the live stream. I hope you guys took the opportunity to share your comments with us, retweet on Twitter, subscribe to our YouTube channel. It was a privilege having each and every one of you. We are right on the 9 o'clock hour, and so we have to go. I see Shadas has joined us back studio, but I regret I can't take him now. There's always next week, Thursday, folks. Thanks for joining, and do stay safe, each and every one of you. I think we were right on the 9 o'clock hour. I know that my colleague Ganesh Mahipal is hosting this evening for Mark Benchcop, and so I commend Mark's program to you. Straight up with Mark. Ganesh is on. Give Ganesh my regards, folks, and do stay safe. Thanks to all of you who took time to come in this evening. The program was made even more special because you were on, not because I was here talking as usual, Monday to Friday, but because you were on, folks, and you know we value you guys. Thanks for joining. Stay safe.